Hello, welcome to BioGrades TV. If you're new here, please subscribe and turn on the notification so you don't miss our next video. History of the Kanuri Empire. The Islamic Kanuri Empire was founded about 9th century when the Kanuris succeeded in imposing their authority on the politically disunited communities of the Lake Chad Basin. Modern-day Kanuri people are the descendants of the Sefawa Dynasty of the Kanem Empire. The Sefawa Dynasty is regarded as one of the longest lived in the history of the world, ruling for about 1,000 years. Some factors were responsible for the longevity of this dynasty. First, great care was taken to avoid dynastic struggles and minimize rivalries. For instance, as the Mai's sons reached manhood, they were sent to the provinces to prevent them from causing political rivalry and intrigue within the capital. Another factor was that the Sefawa deliberately intermarried with the women in the conquered areas in order to minimize rebellions. A number of offspring of such mixed marriages even became members of the ruling dynasty. Third, the Sefawa dynasty introduced Islam peacefully and gradually without necessarily using force. The first Kanuri Empire was built at Kanem, while the second was at Borno and survived for almost 1,000 years. Struggles for political power resulted in the gradual collapse of the first empire at Kanem from 1259 to 1472. Mai Ali Gaji, who reigned from 1472 to 1504, was able to revive the empire. He transferred the seat of power to Bornu from the ancestral capital of Njimi. The political organization of the empire was on two levels, central and provincial. The Mai was at the head of the empire and was both a religious and political leader. The Mai was considered divine and the office sacred, and as such certain attributes go with the office. For instance, the Mai ate in seclusion, was only seen in public on rare occasions, and if he must have audience with strangers, it had to be behind curtain screens. The Mai was not an autocrat. Besides his office, there were two other bodies of title holders who were part of the government. The first was the Council of State, comprised of 12 men selected from the nobility and some not necessarily from the nobles but have proven themselves worthy of such high office. These 12 people together with the Mai made up the supreme ruling body. Besides a few councillors, the Mai also appointed court and state officials for various responsibilities. However, the official organ of the government was the Council of 12, which counseled the Mai on policy and were responsible for its implementation in his name. Another important political institution in the empire was a body comprising 3 women title holders: the Gumsu, that is Mai's first wife, the Magara, Mai's senior sister, and the Majira, the queen mother. These 3 women played important roles in the palace and they trained the princes. They exercised appreciable influence in the politics of the empire. So influential were they that by the threat to withdraw their services, this council of women could compel a Mai to change his policies. Mai Biri was imprisoned on the order of the Majira, the queen mother, and Majira Aisha took charge of Kanuri political life before the accession of Idris Aluma. For administrative purposes, the empire was grouped into 4 provinces and placed under 4 governors selected from the 12 councillors. The Galadima headed the west, the Kegama the south, the Yerima the north, and Mestrema the east. The governors were responsible for defending their provinces from attack, ensuring stability, collecting tributes for the Mai, and mobilizing their subjects for war. Besides the Galadima, the governors did not live in the provinces and had to appoint representatives known as the Chima to carry out their functions. The Kanuri Empire reached its greatest heights during the reign of Mai Idris Aluma, 1571 to 1603. Aluma is best remembered for his military prowess, administrative reforms, and devotion to Islam. One epic poem tells of his victories in 330 wars and more than 1,000 battles. He brought great innovations in his time, including the employment of fixed military camps with walls, permanent sieges, and scorched earth tactics during warfare. He also introduced armored horses and riders and iron-helmeted musketeers trained by Turkish military advisors. So broad was his fame that he had diplomatic relations with Tripoli, Egypt, and the Ottoman Empire. The Ottoman Empire at the time sent a 200-member ambassadorial party across the desert to Aluma's court at Ngazargamu. Aluma also signed what is believed to have been the first written treaty or ceasefire in Chadian history. Indeed, under Mai Idris Aluma, the Kanuri Empire grew very great and wealthy. The administrative reforms and military brilliance introduced by Aluma kept the empire going until the mid-1600s when its power began to fade. By the late 1700s, the empire's rule extended only westward into the land of the Hausa. Around that time, Fulani people were able to make major inroads into Borno. By the early 19th century, the Kanuri Empire, also known as Kanem Borno, was clearly an empire in decline, and in 1808, Fulani warriors conquered Ngazargamu. What have we missed out of this history? Let's know in the comment section. Will it be ridiculous to subscribe to our channel? If no, please like this video, share, and subscribe to our channel.